So guys, before we take you through some great drills, we're going to take you through some awesome positions here that just makes it so much easier to bring this club down into some of the slots, hit those lines that we're after. Now, moving back, club's at 1 o'clock. If I get a clock over the club face there, that's at 1 o'clock. That's already setting up great angles in your wrists. Now, when we keep some connection here, and we've got more drills coming up obviously, but if I can get this connection, obviously the left arm there is under the shoulder plane. All right, my shoulders are pointed about 1 meter over the golf ball. My mouth is free, okay? Obviously you can get it up on that shoulder plane as well, but for a lot of you out there, if you're coming in a little bit steep, you can move it up a little bit or into here. This is what helps us bring this club head into a great position. That elbow's already shaving down or underneath that original shaft plane, keeping this lead wrist flat. Really important, 1 o'clock connection. Let's get stuck into some great drills now and feels, and so you can get in there and practice these positions. Just makes golf and the golf swing so much easier. Right guys, this is a really interesting drill to get the correct wrist and hand alignments and get your body working effectively. Let's have a look at this. What we're going to do is preset the club. Okay, so you try to keep your hands in the same position, presetting it, but keeping the club here pointed at 1 o'clock. Now when you do that, your left wrist is going to be really flat and you've got some angle. Now if you notice when I get the club to 12, there's no angle in the wrist, no power, slicing, flipping, the whole lot. This is the key, building up this angle, the creases in the wrist. So you preset, I'll show you from the front view, and from here, keep connection and turn. And it's going to get you in a bit of a stronger position at the top here. This is something that's really, really important for you guys. 1 o'clock, preset, up to the top, keep the connection. Lead wrist flat, look at the angle in my right wrist. The deeper you get the shoulders, the more angle. The more you're up, the more you look shut. Okay, the more you're up, the club face is shut. The more you're down, the bigger the angle. And this is how you create really a lot of speed. From this view, it's a great drill, this one. Have a look at this. So, keep the hands almost in the circle, pointed at 1 o'clock. You've got your angle, swing back, get that right shoulder behind you, and you've got a feeling where that elbow can come in into such a pure position. Guys, right, got an absolute belter of a drill here. Let's have a look at this. Creating body awareness, taking your ball striking to the next level. Hands opposite the thighs. We're going right hand, right knee, left hand, left hip. Have a look at this. The knee gets to the golf ball. Right hand, right knee, left hand, left hip. Now this left side extending acts as a wall. The head cannot move forwards. We need this lateral shift. The more lateral shift you have, the more compression, the more shaft lean you will get. Getting across, club golfers need 3/4 of this lead leg through the wall. Getting this right knee to the golf ball, this is how you get shaft lean, creating body awareness. Now, one of the things that's important to notice is this right hip, the PGA Tour average, compliments of Dr. Robert Neal, WorldClassGolf.com, who's analysed 550 professionals, the biomechanic instructor. It's unbelievable. All right, so this right hip is actually 7 centimetres lower at impact than where it started at. It's not much, but it's important to notice because when you actually create shaft lean here, you know, see that my club, I've shortened the radius of my swing. I'm over the ball. But if we get down a little bit here lower, we're going to get that shaft lean. Now people go their entire lives, they play golf forever, flipping it and not getting that compression hardly ever on the golf ball, and it's a real shame. And that's where you need evidence-based instruction. So we're going to look here at a really clear and easy way to understand this right hand position when we're moving back. So when we look at that right hand moving back, if I take the club away, you can see that here, this right palm, when I take this club, when I swing back, I get my takeaway moving, the right hand is pointing down and it's pointing away from me. But it's, you know, if I was to open up that hand, it's not pointed directly at the camera. All right, so it's not twisted in this direction. In fact, it's pointed over there. So what we're going to look at here, if just bear with me for a second, when we say that, you know, when we're looking at that's a 90-degree angle, right? There's your 90 and there's your 0. So we got 90, 80, 70, you're moving into 45 degrees there, right down to 0. Now that's also 90 degrees. 80, 70, 60, no, and 45 is over there. Now that's where my hand was just pointing, right? So let's have a look at that when we swing back and we get that takeaway, that right hand moving. When we get to this halfway stage where the left arm's around parallel to the ground, if I was to, you know, open up that right hand, you're getting that right hand to point around a 45-degree angle, and that's a big, clear, strong picture. Okay, so when we're moving then into the backswing, what we can do is get that club head pointed, you know, over towards 1 o'clock, and when we get to that halfway point, you've got that right hand pointed over towards a 45-degree angle, and that's a big picture. All right, that's a great way. You can get a little bit of connection in here. You know, you're working that club head back, and you're getting those wrist alignments. When I turn that right hand to that 45 degrees, my left wrist is moved in a very strong position. It's actually slightly into a flexed position, which is a great place to be, you know, when we're going to come down and turn this wrist into a battering ram and just slam this golf ball down. Iron shots. So guys, right, the slot position, closer you get to this position, the better you're going to hit it. All right, now this is, you can just check this with your mobile phones. This will show you on WorldClassGolf.com. Now you can see that the club's coming in behind the hands. That's level with the hands, that's in front of the hands. All right, now when I get behind the hands, you can see that my lead wrist is slightly bowed. And this is what helps us shallow out or bring the club from the inside. So guys, right, the moment of truth, the slot position. Every single great player is in this position. How close are you to it? And the thing is, the closer you get to this position, the better you're going to hit it. It doesn't matter whether you swing high, whether you swing low, where you're from, what your name is. It's about getting this club head to come in behind the hands and in this position. Now, here's what we do. First off, if you can just do this movement here, the right wrist breaking back on itself. Push the palms together, okay? Now, when you swing back, you can see what my hands are doing here. I'm actually pushing a little bit the right elbow in, and I'm pushing the right hand, and we can see that this lead wrist is bowing down and that right wrist is really picking up in angle. This you can apply into your practice swings. What we want to do is get this elbow really to lead in. So if my right hip is the finish line, I want the elbow to get to the finish line before the hands do. And unfortunately, this is what we're seeing a lot of the time. And when we get this move, we're in front of the hands, and from here, it's difficult. We got the table tennis bat, red, black. We don't see the red side here. The red side stays away, but when it's coming down, really bringing that position, and this is where these great players are, people, getting that lead wrist to be bowed, getting this right wrist into this position, and from here we have a great chance to shallow out this plane and bring this club down from the inside. Really, it is the test here. This is the really getting into the moment of truth. So guys, regardless of your skill level, this next exercise is a belter. It really is fantastic, and it really helps applying us building a feel through the golf ball. Let's have a look at it. We've done it recently on another video, had a lot of questions about it. Lead hand on the golf club, getting yourself in the address position, moving through the golf ball, and what we're doing, what happens is the left side really extends, and it gives us a feeling of coming underneath, although we can be moving forwards. Now we've got 4 to 6 10 to 15 centimeters of lateral shift with this lead hip. That's the PGA Tour average, thanks to Dr. Robert Neal on World Class Golf Instruction. And what we're looking at there is getting a feeling of this lead side lifting up. Now you can see how high my left shoulder is through the golf ball, the right knee moving in towards the left. And really after impact, we want to have this lead leg slightly bent. You can see how that looks. World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied to helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction. Okay, so look, these type of positions, the closer you get to them, the better you hit. The further away, the worse you hit. And that's why I put together World Class Golf Instruction, worldclassgolf.com. And with the online swing analyst there, it's the same as the YouTube video with your swing. It's the same as this video, except with your swing, my voiceover, and we've got tailored drills and exercises. You get it in a compressed email. We're looking at around 20 to 30 minutes of instruction there, and it's a higher level of instruction at a lower price and investing in your golf. It's such a great thing to do, and this platform has really been transforming people. Guys, these drills, these exercises really helps us build our motion and get on the path of playing some fantastic golf.